Hello, and welcome to Home Sweet Homesteading, a show dedicated to the art and lifestyle of homesteading. I'm your host, Chad Harrington. On today's show, we'll visit the Champeau twins, two crafty sisters living in Milwaukee who will show us a thing or two about what we can do to save a few dollars with things we have around our homes. Megan Champeau will then join us in the studio, tell us more about what got her and her sister into becoming self-sufficient divas. We'll also have Gretchen Mead in the studio, talk about using what little land you might have to grow food. Gretchen is the executive director of the Victory Garden Initiative, a local organization with a green thumb. But first, I'm joined by Annie Wagner-Lafort. Annie is a certified master food preserver and local blogger. Her blogs follow her many adventures in the urban homesteading with a focus in food preservation. Annie, thanks for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
So I want to talk to you about what is homesteading, basically? What's the basics of it?
Well, homesteading the idea of it began with the Homesteading Act of 1862, when there were public land grants for people that were dedicated to staying on their land for 5 years. They would then be granted the deed to that land. In the 70s, the definition sort of changed a bit as young people were going back to the land to try to kind of get away from the urban and suburban areas and back to their rural roots. And a lot of those folks are doing some amazing things today that they started back then. But today, in the 21st century, homesteading it's all about self-sufficiency no matter where you live. So using less energy, growing wholesome food, getting your family and friends involved in the community, and generally creating a better quality of life for yourself, the community, and the environment. So I think that the common thread through all of those is conserving resources, being very resourceful in the first place, and then doing the most with what you have.
Right. So how did you get into homesteading yourself?
Well, I feel like it's sort of in my blood. A couple generations ago, 3 generations ago, part of my family they were farmers and the other half were city dwellers. And then I grew up with parents who were very creative, handy, crafty, and did a lot of gardening and that kind of thing. And then my grandma, of course, steeped us in her love of cooking and food. And so I think I approached it from a food standpoint. I have a background in food and nutrition and culinary arts, and so I came at it from that angle. And began with cooking and then preserving and then growing food and then teaching preservation and cooking. And so it just kind of developed from there.
All right. So as far as homesteading goes, is it more of a hobby or a lifestyle?
For me, it's definitely a lifestyle. I think of a hobby as something you do in your spare time, and I think to be a dedicated homesteader of any sort, it has to be something that there's some sort of constant involvement, whatever level that is. And I certainly ebb and flow with my progress depending on the seasons and my family's stage and schedules. But there are definitely things that we're doing every day that are part of that.
All right. So as far with homesteading, where you're at right now, are you planning on raising that a little higher? What level?
Hopefully. Yes, okay. I'm always looking at what's next and setting goals for myself. So right now we're mostly involved with growing our own food, preserving it, building things, the do-it-yourself kinds of building. Being involved in the community, sewing, mending, all those sorts of things, and other things around the house, energy efficiency. But what I would like to do in the near future, I see maybe in the next few years, getting some backyard hens and some top bar beehives. I want my daughter to be a little bit more able to help me, because otherwise I don't think it'll be sustainable for me to take on all of that and do it by myself. So I want to make sure that I've got a little bit of extra help. Maybe adding some solar panels in the future, that's definitely a dream. And then working more on the seed saving aspect of gardening too. I think that's an important step that I'd like to take.
Okay. So what would you consider the benefits of a lifestyle such as this?
Certainly health benefits for body, mind, the health of our family, the health of our community and our environment. There are money-saving benefits. If you're growing your own food, it's amazing what you can grow from just a small packet of seeds, and especially if you're growing it without any synthetic inputs. Organic food costs a lot of money these days, and so if you can grow your own, you can certainly save money, and then if you're preserving it when you have an abundance. I think that getting involved in the community, it's just so important to make connections these days, as we're also plugged in, it's good to get out and actually talk to people. Waste reduction is a huge benefit. If you're making a lot of your own food or products, there's less packaging waste and manufacturing waste, so that's a big thing to us too.
Great. So I know you brought them some things today.
I did.
You want to tell us what they are?
Sure, and I
process
tried
goes
to
in making
bring some things that were actually from our home, because the preserving that I do is not just limited to what we grow. I mean, a lot of it is what we grow, but I also source from some local farmers. So this is our LaForte Homestead berry jam. So we had gooseberries, blackberries, red currants, some raspberries, and I managed to get enough of all of those to create a batch of jam. These are some pickled, Italian pickled zucchini, and last year was an amazing year for zucchini in our garden, so we did some pickles with those. And then dried cherry tomatoes, which are nice to have in the winter when we're missing the fresh ones. You can at least get a little taste of tomatoes.
Okay. So how would one get involved with this? Some basic tips.
For somebody that wants to start?
Yeah, just fresh starting out.
Okay. Well, my advice is absolutely to start small, set some small goals, and my idea would be maybe to say that you're going to grow, I'm taking it from a garden perspective, that you're going to grow maybe all of the beans that you're going to pickle this year, or all of the tomatoes that you're going to preserve. So starting small, setting small goals, maybe learning one new skill a month, a year, a season. But definitely those small goals are really important to make it sustainable, so you don't try too much at the beginning and burn out. So I think it's important. Yeah.
So now how often do you can and preserve? What is the kind of the schedule?
In peak season, I'm definitely preserving probably 2 to 3 times a week. And so I start in May when I'm doing some wild foraging for ramps, and I pickle those. And then I can from my garden well into October. And then if I'm canning things that are from local farmers, it could go way into November even. So it's a good portion of the year.
Okay. I know you have to talk about your daughter getting involved. Does your whole family as well get involved with this?
Well, I'm definitely doing the majority right now to maintain the homestead. She's still growing and learning, and so she's doing what she can right now. My husband works full-time outside of the home, so that kind of puts the responsibility on me. So he is actually going to be, he's getting excited about growing some hops this year for some home brewing. So I'm very excited about that, because I'm seeing this as sort of the gateway for him to get more involved. Whatever angle we had to start with, to get him excited about growing too. So
Great.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now we'll have over Megan and Anissa Champeau's place, where they'll be showing us a quick and easy way to make laundry detergent at home. Girls?
Hi, my name is Megan Champeau, and this is my twin sister, Anissa Champeau. And today we're going to show you how to make laundry detergent. And what you'll need for that is a food processor, 2 bars of ivory soap, washing soda, and borax. Make sure that you have your measuring cups and a tablespoon. Next, Anissa's going to take the shredding side of your tool and putting it into the food processor.
As in from New York City. Yeah.
Put the lid on. And then she's going to take the 2 ivory soaps and put them into the processor for it to be shredded. Yep, that shredded really nice. So next what you're going to do is take the washing soda and pour it into your cup. Okay, and then we're going to take out the shredder, because now you're going to need your blade. You just squeeze that right in there. You can put this back on. And then Anissa's going to take the washing soda and put it in here. And then we're going to turn on the processor, and Anissa's going to pour the washing soda into the bar soap. Next, we're going to take a cup of borax and put it into the processor. And this is going to pour it right in. Great, thank you, Anissa. Next, you're just going to put it into a container. And this stuff is so potent, all you need is a tablespoon for every load. And that's how you make laundry detergent.
As you can see, it's pretty easy to get into homesteading. Making your own laundry detergent can only save you money, but you know exactly what's going into the stuff you're using to clean your clothes. And to learn more about controlling what's going into your food, I'm joined by Gretchen Mead, Executive Director of the Victory Garden Initiative. Gretchen, glad to have you here.
Thanks for having me.
So tell us, what is the Victory Garden Initiative?
We are a nonprofit organization that helps people grow their own food. And our goal is to reintegrate human and food ecology through growing your own food.
So what's kind of the history of the Victory Garden Initiative?
Well, we started it was really just a group of friends that came together and said, you know, this is so important. Growing our own food is so important. There are so many reasons why it could add value to Milwaukee and urban environments around the city. And so one day we decided to have an event called the Blitz, where we installed as many gardens as we could in one day. And in May, we are about to have our 5th Blitz. The first one, we installed about 35 gardens, and our goal this year will be to install about 500 gardens all throughout the Milwaukee County area.
So let's talk about some of the benefits of the Victory Garden. What would you consider the benefits to the area that it would be in?
Yeah, I think there are countless benefits. It gets people outside. I always advocate for growing food in your front yard. If you grow in your front yard, people can see what you're doing. It gets them excited about the potential. You meet them. You can give them extra tomatoes. So it brings communities together. It's definitely a community builder. Also, having access to the fresh fruits and vegetables immediately after they're harvested, they're so much more nutritional. Currently, our food system serves us food that travels at least 1,500 miles. And by the time it gets to us, it oftentimes doesn't have a nutritional value at all. So growing your own is really the way to get those vitamins and minerals that we've evolved to eat and need. We require them for optimal health. There are a lot of people in Milwaukee that don't have access to fresh fruits and vegetables. And really one of the ways that they can increase their income is through growing it themselves, so they don't have to try to afford it at a grocery store. So it really levels the playing field in terms of access to high quality food. And the final reason is environmental. It really, if you think about our food system currently, it's all out there. You know, we are here in the city of Milwaukee. We have small plots of land that can't grow a whole lot of food, and there are vast tracts of land in the breadbasket of the world, which is the Midwest, that has the highest quality soil in the world, and it's feeding much of the world. But the food ecology, or the agricultural ecology, is removed from the people who eat it. And that is a system that is broken ecologically. And to reintegrate those two systems, where human and food ecology are one, is really critical to moving forward towards a sustainable future.
So what are the space requirements for a garden?
Well, you can really start with anything. I mean, some people grow a nice tomato plant even on their little balcony, on their high rise, and that's obviously not going to get you that much. But the more space you can use, the better, and the more creative you are with your space, the more food you're going to get. The more creative you are with your sunniest spot, the more food you're going to get. When we install gardens for the Blitz, which is our largest and our sort of signature event, we install 4 by 8 foot raised beds, and we do that for a number of reasons. They're just really a nice size to fit into almost any urban space. You can fit one in somewhere in your yard, most likely. They're very manageable for beginning gardeners. They take 1 yard of high quality soil. We bring in the soil because the soil in urban environments is often contaminated with lead or mercury. So to bring in soil is really important for getting high quality produce. So that's a good way to start, is a little 4 by 8 foot raised bed.
No, before the show, we talked a little bit about the Bloomberg proposal. If you want to expand upon that and tell us what that's all
Sure.
about.
I was so excited actually to get this email about this Sweet Homesteading show because I didn't know that anybody on television was talking about it. But it's one of the things that we do, that Victory Garden Initiative does, and that I do at home. But about, let's see, it was in August, Mayor Barrett, the mayor of Milwaukee, put forth a turnovation, he called it. So like a tournament of innovative ideas, a turnovation. And he wanted the people of Milwaukee to present concepts that solve the twin issues of our increasing foreclosure rate. So the city of Milwaukee has, I don't know, more than 1,000 foreclosed homes that they own and are responsible for, and our broken food system. So how can we combine, what is a solution to solve these two issues, foreclosures and bad food system? And I presented a concept in this contest called the Post-Industrial Urban Homestead Act. And essentially what I suggested is that the city of Milwaukee pair foreclosed homes with the empty plots of land that are often surrounding foreclosed homes in these neighborhoods where many, many homes have been torn down and then the others are in foreclosure. And that those homes could be turned into urban homesteads and provide food for the neighborhoods that need it the most in Milwaukee. And after 5 years or so of a homesteader successfully growing food on this piece of land, they would get the home and the land and indefinitely, much like the Homestead Act of, I think Annie said 1816, I'm not sure. And so then they would truly become a farm indefinitely in an inner city neighborhood. So that concept won Mayor Barrett's contest and was then expanded upon to more of a neighborhood development scheme. And it was submitted to Mayor Bloomberg from New York City, his mayoral contest, which is a nationwide search for ideas that cities can implement to really change the future. And it's currently, the concept of homesteading and this other neighborhood development scheme is in the running to win. It's 1 in 20. We have a 1 in 20 chance of winning either $1 or $5 million. Actually, we have a 1 in 4 chance of winning $5 or $1 million at this point. So it's very exciting for the city of Milwaukee.
Great, great. Now I know obviously we're not in peak growing season.
Right.
But what would be your suggestions for these kind of cold months as far as a garden?
Sprouts. Right now, everybody can grow sprouts. It's an excellent way to increase access to, those little microgreens have really high nutrients. Everybody should be eating greens every single day, 3 times a day. So sprouts are really the key to the wintertime growing. You can get more elaborate and put in a lighting system and grow like micro lettuce, the kind of baby lettuce that you see at the store. But I prefer sprouts just because you don't need to use any electricity. It's very sustainable. You just have to have the seeds and, a jar essentially and some water.
Okay. So how would one get started with the Victory Garden? What's kind of the basic starting point to go from?
There are, with the Victory Garden Initiative, there are many ways to get started. You can just go to our website and check out all of the programs we offer, many, many education programs. We have an Urban Homestead League, and we're currently in the process of organizing people who want to do homesteading in the city of Milwaukee and finding out what their needs are, what can we offer them, how can we connect them to pieces of land and homes that might be suitable for homesteading. And all of this information is on our website. You can also order a garden from us that we would come put in your yard. Or you can just really build your own raised bed. It's very simple. If you order high quality soil that's good for growing vegetables and put it in a wooden box of untreated lumber, you can really just get started in the spring very simply.
Great. Well, it's time to head back over to the Champeau residence, where Anissa will show us a few cheap and easy things we can do to clean our homes with things most of us already have laying around the house.
Hey guys, it's Anissa again, and I'm going to go over a few ways to clean your home that's very cost effective, and you probably have these things laying around your house already. So, first things first, have you ever bought air fresheners for your home, the plug-in kind? As you know, these little refills can be quite expensive. And a cost-effective way to fragrance your home is with these plug-in air fresheners, and they do come with refills. And as you may have noticed, they do get expensive over time. So a cost-effective way to fragrance your home is with essential oils. One of these costs about $10 at any retail store, and you get many uses out of them, so that's how it's cost-effective. And one way to sparkle up your metal appliances or hardwares in your home is just with a clean rag and some vodka. For scrubbing toilets or any porous surfaces, all you need is a little bit of baking soda and a dab of water with a toothbrush. Mix it into a nice paste like this and scrub away those stubborn stains. When you have grime in your microwave, one easy solution is to use lemon juice and water. So all you'll need is a cup of water to half a cup of lemon juice. That's about a half a cup. And a half a cup is all you need of the lemon juice. Or if you have fresh lemon wedges, just put a handful of lemon wedges in with the water. And you just place it into the microwave, set it on high for 3 to 5 minutes. And then when the 3 to 5 minutes is all done with, you let it sit in the microwave for 2 minutes and wipe away the grime. And these are some cost-effective ways to fragrance and clean your home. I hope you find these tips helpful.
That's just a few things you can do to take care of your home from one crafty twin. And here to tell us more is the other twin, Megan. Thanks for joining us.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
So what kind of inspired you to become a do-it-yourselfer?
I just get a lot of satisfaction from it. I used to go shopping at retail stores and, see some prices of, in this case, laundry detergent and go, I bet I could make that. So I kind of just look stuff up online and figure it out how to make stuff on my own.
So besides laundry detergent, what are some other things you make at home that you...
I make my own coffee creamer. I do very basic stuff. I'm kind of new to this homesteading initiation. I also, as you saw in the tape, making my own fragrance oil as well. Simple things, that's what I like doing.
So it's more of a hobby for you, more of a lifestyle? What would you say?
I would say it started off as a hobby and it's turning into a lifestyle. I'm just dabbling into food in jars, processing and stuff like that. And my sister actually is on her third brewing session of home beer. So we're kind of getting it more into a lifestyle, integrating it into our daily lives.
Okay. So did you start first, your sister, and when did that take place? Who kind of initiated that?
I would say I started first and she started picking up on it. Okay. She used to get pretty annoyed with me coming home with baskets of fruit and vegetables and trying to, make meals every day and processing the food. And now she was kind of wanted to put, her own spin on things, and she really likes craft beer, so she decided that's what she wanted to do. With the cleaning stuff, she really liked doing that. I was a big fan of Murphy's oil soap for the longest time, and she looked up ways to use, ingredients that we already have at home to make our apartment clean and sanitized. So that was her initiation of that.
So what are some of the benefits that you found from doing all this?
Saving money. I am frugal by nature, and anything I can do to save a buck is, my inspiration by it. With the processing and canning beer and bottling our own beer, that's just, I feel like it tastes better than store-bought stuff. So that was another way that we get a lot of satisfaction from it, making it ourselves. You control what you put in, and the quality of the product, I feel, is better.
So you have like a favorite recipe or thing that you make yourself that you used to buy?
I really enjoy hot sauces, and I found this recipe for carrot habanero hot sauce. Don't get me wrong, I love sriracha, but that one's one of my favorites because it's unique. I like the little quirky recipes that I find and use. And then I like my classic raspberry jam that my mom gave me the recipe from her great-grandmother, and the recipe actually says remove boiling jam from the fire, and I think that's just lovely.
So is your family also getting involved now that you and your sister have started doing this?
Well, I actually got this interest from my mom, so she was kind of the originator of the whole thing, and our older sister, Allie, our goal is to get her into it, but she's not budging yet.
So what are some other recipes that you can do to just kind of save money and have a cleaner product?
I guess recipes, you know, it's expensive going out to eat. So another thing that we like to do is, you know, research different cuisines like Indian, Pakistani. In the season of Mardi Gras, we made some gumbo, stuff like that. Because it's expensive to go out, and if you can make it yourself, you know, why not? It's fun to do, and it's good quality products.
Great. Well, that's all the time we have today on Home Sweet Homesteading. I'd like to thank our guests today, Annie Wagner-LaFort, Gretchen Mead, and Megan Champeau. And I'd also like to thank you for watching. Now get out there and start homesteading. Good night.